Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th, The Sky NT, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and Sonny's Pizzeria. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Welcome, Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment lovers. This is the last show of the year before we take a couple of weeks off to enjoy all the arts and entertainment in and around Sioux Falls. We return with episode number 161 on Thursday, January 5th, 2023. Another year has flown by. In the meantime, we're going to send you off to the holidays with some fun stuff. Later in the show, Reuben Rodriguez makes a return to the show. He is always welcome in the Dipsy Doodle Production Studios because he always brings food. Coming up in a few minutes, though, the newest addition to the Improv Falls troupe, Jessica Graeber. You will be impressed. Plus, we'll tell you who gets this week's honorable mention, as well as draw for another winner of Pizza with a Podcaster. But first, let's pop the cork on this bubbly little show. Time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day, and your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near, and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party. All right, lift 'em high, because the Weekend Eve toast goes out to Andy Wortman of Tennessee. Yes, of Tennessee. Yesterday was his birthday, and we toast him for a couple of reasons. Well, I toast him for many reasons. He happens to be not my nephew. He's also a musician and loves the arts and entertainment. He plays bass in a couple of bands, an indie band and then also a tribute band. Now, remember back in the midst of the pandemic, yes, correct pronunciation, we played a song about kind of being locked up. That was from the Southern Shame. That's the indie rock band that he's in. And then coming up in late February, my love and I will be vacationing in Music City and get to hear the Pearl Jam tribute band he's in. So, Andy, happy birthday, buddy. Love you and can't wait to see you and your family as well as the rest of the family when we're down in Nashville come late February. It's time to pick a lucky winner of Pizza with a Podcaster. Everyone that follows the Dave Holly Hour on Facebook or Instagram automatically entered to win a free pizza from Sonny's Pizzeria. We draw a winner each week, and this week we say congratulations to Doug Mashik. We'll be in touch with you, Doug, to get you all set up with some jowl-dropping, show-stopping thin crust pizza. Pizza with a Podcaster is brought to you by Sonny's Pizzeria, right across from USF at 26th and Waltz, and Sonny's at 81 on South Phillips. Check out the very fun and incredibly flavorful menu online, sonnyspizzeria.com. Honorable mention. Oh my! Honorable mention is a fun one because it's everything that's still going to be going on. Yes, it's despite the fact that we happen to be taking 2 weeks off, me and the unpaid staff here at the Dave Holly Hour do take time for the holidays. And guess what we do during the holidays? We go out and we enjoy arts and entertainment. And honorable mention will go to you. No, just how I said will go to you if you get out and you do the same. And if you want a great Christmas gift idea, you're still searching for that right thing to do, well, it's pretty easy. Buy someone something in the arts or entertainment, whether it be a piece of visual art or photography or a sculpture, or you get them a membership of the Washington Pavilion, or you buy them season tickets for one of the great theater groups that we have in town. So honorable mention, a little bit different as we head to the holidays, but certainly don't let it slow you down from getting out there over the next few weeks and making sure that you and your loved ones enjoy all the arts and entertainment that can be found here in the Greater Sioux Empire. Later in the hour, the busy bass player Reuben Rodriguez runs down the gigs that he has the last half of December, and it's a lot. But coming up next, the newest member of Improv Falls, Jessica Graeber, tells us about her theatrical journey on the Dave Holly Hour.
Helping women feel empowered and confident is what Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th does, while supplying high-quality clothing that fits your lifestyle, personality, and price point. Whether you want comfy and cozy, casual attire, or something for a special occasion, Posh provides quality, selection, and value. They carry sizes extra small to 3X and have something appropriate for any age. Feel empowered and get confident. Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th.
Sure, they have darts, and you've heard me talk about how ruggedly handsome the trivia host is, but all caps fun never stops at the Sky Lounge and Tea. And fun is best had with your friends enjoying live entertainment, as in live and local. Yeah, the Sky Lounge believes in giving you the best bands, solo artists, and comedians from the area. The Neo Johnsons, Elizabeth Hunstead, Skylar Volks, as well as many others. And a great staff will make sure you enjoy your fun at the Sky Lounge in Tea, South Dakota.
Support the Dave Holly Hour in a very easy way. Buy Dave a cup of coffee by clicking the cup in the lower left corner of www.davehollyhour.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we are, the final episode of 2022. Yes, the Dave Holly Hour host, that would be me, Dave Holly, and the unpaid staff, everybody else that helps me out, will be taking a couple of weeks off because we still have regular jobs. And of course, there's this little thing called the holidays. And well, I happen to know a guy that wears a red velvet suit this time of year, so he might be a little tired. Carrying on that, getting to what we always talk about, Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment, and you know what I love to say about it. It is always a pleasure, and it's so fun that we've been on a pretty good streak of having people that have not been on the show before, and we truly welcome this young lady to town because she moved here not too long back. Jessica Graeber, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. What an honor.
I'm happy to have you here as well. In fact, the first time I met you was out of a little bit of curiosity, because I have done improv in the past, and I've got a group of friends that are wonderful improv people, Improv Falls, and all of a sudden there's this post about, hey, there's this new gal that moved to town, and boy, does she have the resume, blah, 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 blah. And so come join us and welcome Jessica to the group this Friday night. So it's like, okay, because having been in improv before, and there have been times where people have said, you know, come to the group, moved to town, and said, oh, yeah, I've done improv here, there, and everywhere. And then all of a sudden you get up on stage and they go, I got nothing. So I was so well pleased when I saw you the first time. It's like, okay, this gal has the chops.
Oh, thank you.
We're dealing with a real thing here. And it was just so fun to see you not only just join that group, but to take over a lot of the hosting duties and so forth. To start off, so how did you get involved in it before coming to Sioux Falls?
Okay, well, the journey has been long. I first was introduced to improv while I was in college. I went to University of Utah. I was a theater education major, and I was in an Accents for Actors class when a fellow student came up and said, you know what, you should try improv. And I was terrified. I had seen improv and never thought that that would be something that I would love. But I had the biggest crush on this student. And the fact that he came up to me, I'm like, okay, yes, I will try this improv thing out. And we had a chapter of Comedy Sports in Utah. And Comedy Sports is international. And I went and saw one of his shows. And then I was hooked. I didn't know if I could be on stage, but I knew I wanted to learn what this art form was. And I started taking classes and quickly was asked to be a part of the group. And it just, something clicked. I really loved the team sport of it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that my job was to listen and to react and not necessarily try to be funny, but to find the humor just in being honest and true on stage and coming up with different characters. So I was quickly hooked to that. So this was around 2002, 2003. And I started becoming a main stage performer with Comedy Sports. And then when I graduated in 2005, I moved to Phoenix, where there's a wonderful improv company called The Jesters. And I started performing with them. And while I was with The Jesters, I was exposed to more directing opportunities and teaching opportunities. And I was with them for many years. I still consider myself with them because
You're a member.
I'm a member of The Jesters, and I will get a call from our director, Jeff, like, can you do a show here? Can you do a show there? And I'll still jump on with my old team, and I love it.
Oh, that's fun.
And then after that, I moved to Miami, where I performed with a group called Just the Funny. And that was really fun because they did different types of shows throughout the month. So it wasn't just one type of improv show. We would have a dedicated long form show. We would have a dedicated musical improv show, short form, competitive. So I got to be exposed to all of these different types of improv. And I felt like it was a great playground to develop my skills. And then after living in Miami, I moved to a small town in Florida called Niceville, where they didn't have improv. And I thought, okay.
Niceville?
Niceville, yes.
Okay. Retirement community?
No, it should be, but it is very nice. It would be nicer if they had an improv community there. But I just thought, okay, well, maybe it's time for me to retire. It's in my past. And then I moved to Sioux Falls and got connected with Debbie first.
Okay.
My son did a DAPA play.
Oh, wonderful.
And
I'm an old DAPA director from many, many years ago.
What a wonderful company that is.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I just love it. And I love that my son has shown a desire to perform and that there is a community that can help him grow, because it's different when you're listening to mom. You need to have other voices tell him about theater. So I was lucky enough to meet Debbie at DAPA, Debbie Jones. She's amazing. And we got to chatting, and I mentioned that I've directed children's theater before, and I also did improv. And she's, oh, well, we do improv. And that's my long story that has been over the course of 20 years of doing improv. And now I'm here in Sioux Falls with a great group, Improv Falls.
Improv Falls. They are a lot of fun. And I remember the first time that I saw Improv Falls. I was still in another improv group at the time. And we go there, and of course, I'm already aged. And my dear friend, Emily Wilson, who was not my dear friend yet, in fact, that was the first time I ever saw her. She comes in and does a cartwheel on stage in a bar. It's like, wow, okay, that's not the improv I can do, but God bless her for what she could do. And so we're, we always chide about that.
She is amazing.
But she is incredible, no doubt. And Zach Dresch is a very, very good friend. That young man, he actually is the person that voices the open and the close of this show.
Wonderful.
And I employ him occasionally. Oh, dang it, I said that because, usually the unpaid staff gets nothing. I actually pay. Okay, thank you. Pinky swear on this and so forth?
Yeah.
Okay, great. You've joined a pretty good, fun bunch.
What I love most about it is the other troupes I've been with, we've had a cast of maybe 20, and we would rotate. And there would be, out of that cast, very talented people, but maybe 5 or 6 standouts in the cast. And they all kind of play a different role on stage. And Improv Falls, it's like it's pared down to the 5-6 people you really want to play with.
Yeah.
The best combination of personalities and skills
Very true.
and perspectives, which are all very important to making a successful improv. So I really feel like the combination of personalities is what makes it so special.
Good chemistry. That's always a plus. So you originally were thinking more dramatic then?
When I was going into
college?
theater, I definitely knew I wanted to be a teacher,
Okay.
and I loved the performing arts, and so it wasn't necessarily dramatic acting, but any and all acting that I was interested in. Scripted.
Yeah.
Because scripted is safe. Scripted means there's preparation. All of these things that I love to do. I love Shakespeare. I had an opportunity to do a lot of Shakespeare too, which I have also combined now with my improv. One of the shows that we would do would be a Shakespearean improv show, which I love. But I just didn't think that I could be in the moment enough and to provide something of worth on an improv stage. I questioned my own abilities. Unfortunately, I had wonderful teachers that gave me a really great foundation to get over that lack of confidence.
So what did you learn from improv that helped you on, as you say, structured and written down preparation? What did you learn from improv that you could take back to that, though?
Take back to
being on stage in a regular playwright situation.
I owe everything, all of my success on stage, to my improv training, because once you learn the lines, you still need to be in that moment and open to react and open to be honest. And that's all improv is. If you start thinking ahead and you stop listening in improv, the scene is dead.
Yeah.
You need to have that give and take, and you need to have that freshness of the moment. And it's easy to combine that when you know what you're going to say next. That's like, it makes it so easy, but it reminds you that listening. I had a director that said, you don't just listen with your ears, but you listen with your ears, your eyes, as you perceive the actions that the person is doing, and you listen with your understanding of, that's your kind of actor brain of where it needs to go next, and your role in that. And taking those three aspects of listening into a scripted performance can really make it more dynamic and more, I guess, rooted in honesty.
Have you ever had a time on stage in a scripted performance that you missed a line and then the improv skills had to kick in at that moment?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, to respect the director and the production, you definitely want to do your best at staying on book and being prepared. But it's live theater and things happen, and people will, make mistakes, and having that confidence in your improv is what can help you get through. I think it's people who are like, I'm lost and I don't have the skill to get me through this, that, they find themselves in a really tight spot. But having that confidence of it's okay, we can get through this, I can do it, we'll be fine. It helps.
So take on your teacher role. And it's a new group of improvers. What are you starting with?
I always start with group connection. That you're not in this group to be the funniest. You're not in this group to be the stand-up, but you're only as good as the people you're on stage with. So I always start with group connection, learning how to respect each other, and that everyone in this group is going to make you better if you value who they are and their point of view. So simple games that kind of break down the status and get them to see each other and appreciate each other.
But not starting off with Shakespeare right away.
No, that's second. Then we jump into Shakespeare.
Oh, I tell you what, it is always such a blast to see improv and to see it done well. And, there is a difference, and people can tell it when it's not clicking and so forth. But you're right, that connectivity is just, it's paramount to begin with. What have you found, though, in your improv performance that you go, wow, Jessica, I didn't know we could do this.
I rely so much on the skills of my fellow improvisers. And I have had the great honor to work with people who are so much better than I am, that they bring me up, that they will set me up to be in a situation that will bring the best out in me. And usually that entails a musical improv, which is not my background. But I was in a lot of musically based improv groups, and the things that my scene partners would set me up for, it was terrifying and scary, but I would be in that position like, you better deliver. And I was able to put forth something that was well received. And then realizing, wow, I just did that. We just sang a duet. We had harmonies in that. Where did that come from? And be amazed that we built that together.
Yeah. Well, and Improv Falls very fortunate to have Michael Sorensen.
Isn't he wonderful?
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic.
That was the first thing I pointed out when I started with the group, that you have this wonderful tool right here in Mike. He is funny first.
Yes.
He's very smart, and he's incredibly talented. And it's my goal to get the most out of Mike as we move forward.
and one of the most sincere people you'll ever meet, too.
Genuine and always ready to do the best for the group. You know, he wants to help out in many different ways. I love him.
All right, so before improv, and you were going into college and so forth, and knowing you wanted to be a teacher and so forth, but by the same token, you obviously had parts that you relished and so forth, and what are maybe some of the things, well, start off with what's your favorite role in a scripted performance has been, and what's the scripted performance role you would love to play?
That's a good question.
I get in one per interview. 15 minutes, 11-second mark.
You know what's interesting is before I had the confidence to do theater, because, and this might be a more long-winded answer, and you may
we like
edit
those.
it.
It's a podcast.
But in high school, I was too afraid to audition for anything because I wanted it so badly, and I wasn't ready for the rejection. So I took every single acting class that you didn't have to audition for. And it was my senior year that I had a brilliant theater teacher, Mrs. Thorne, who saw that there was a handful of us who would be around theater but never actually do it, never show up at auditions. But we would put forth really good work in classes. And she cornered me and said, I am starting this new theater class for people just like you.
Right.
And I want you to be in this. And I think you are good enough to do this. And that was life-changing for me. So my end of my senior year, I was able to do shows like, oh gosh, what's it called? Oh dear. It's the show where it's crazy. It's an older show, and one of the characters is on roller skates. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. No. Oh, it's just the craziest comedy, and I'll think of the name in a minute.
Regardless,
it's going to be great. Cut all of that out and insert some other voice on top of mine.
No.
With the name. But anyways, that's when I first got to do shows. Before then, I was a dancer. I performed in our dance company, and I focused on dance for a long time. And in fact, when I started college, I was accepted as a modern dance major. So dance was my thing. And then when I decided I didn't want to pursue dance as my career, I remembered the confidence that my teacher gave me, and I thought I can do theater. And I'm going to do theater. But it was so scary because I revered it so much. And then once I started doing theater, I got to do, I was in A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is one of my favorite productions.
Classic.
And favorite shows. And then I was in little different one acts and things like that, but never anything huge. It wasn't until I found improv that got me performing on a professional stage. And then from there, I was a director I directed a lot of shows. I directed for Value Theater, home of Emma Stone and Jordan Sparks. I just have to put that plug in. But in Value Theater in Phoenix, I pretty much did what Debbie did for Value Theater, and I directed a bunch of children's shows, and then I also did shows with Southwest Shakespeare, and did Comedy of Errors and different shows with them too, which I loved. And most of the things I did were directing and little parts here and there.
All right. So for part B of what role would you like and so forth, let's give you a two-part answer then. If a role that you would want, but then also as a director, a production you would love to do.
I would really love to direct the Scottish play. I used Macbeth a lot for my students. I think it's a wonderful play. It's a short play. It gets right to the point, and I appreciate that play a lot. So I think I would want to direct that one. And for a role I would like to play, well, to go on theme, Lady Macbeth, for sure. And if I had the vocal chops, I would want to be Fanny Price in A Funny Girl. And you know what? Let's go on a Barbara Streisand thing.
She's like butter.
I know, and Dolly and Hello Dolly. Yeah. Come on, anyone listening? I will do Dolly right now. I don't know. You know, it's funny because there's a lot I would like to do. There's a lot I would like to explore. I'd love to do A Streetcar Named Desire, either female role. I don't know. Yeah. I think there's a lot I would like to explore more in scripted theater.
Yeah. But by the same token, while you're doing improv, you know, that gives you a chance to be characters that have never been.
Dolly.
Yeah.
And I've been all the kind of archetypes of things I wanted to explore. And that's one of the approaches I like to take on the improv stage, of who have I not tried yet? What voice have I not heard? What perspective have I not done? And challenge myself to work that into a show.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked a lot about improv. Any thoughts about ever doing any stand-up?
No.
That was a quick answer.
I've been asked this before. Stand-up and improv are two completely different art forms.
Yeah.
Stand-up is, I think, for the writer. I think it's for that person who wants control over the final product. There's, of course, improvised moments, but it's very much that solo journey to create that end product. Improv is the opposite of that. You need to turn off your writer's brain. You need to turn on your heart. You need to rely on a team. And that's where I thrive. I don't think I'm a funny person individually. You know, a lot of people, when they hear you do comedy improv, tell us a joke. Like, that's not
how
it.
It works.
That's not right. And I love that interaction with other performers and other talented people so much. And I value how much it makes me better. So that's why I would pass on stand-up. I would take a workshop or two just to gain another skill, but I don't think that's my
not your
destiny.
Forte.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you end up in Sioux Falls? What was the precipice that got you here?
Yeah, well, we moved from Florida, and we were so sick of those beaches and wanted to explore what it's like to have stingy cold weather right in your face. Actually, no, my husband, he's a podiatrist, and one of his good friends.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's what I get every time.
Yeah, well,
people think that because my husband's a podiatrist that I must know something, and they'll throw their shoes off and show me their feet, and then I will pretend I know. I've heard enough conversations. I'll
do some
improvise.
Improv.
Yeah, but he had a good friend from medical school who was working for Stanford and called up my husband and was like, "Hear me out. You know, you are living on the beaches of Florida, but I really like working here. You should try out Sioux Falls. Also, Sioux Falls is a wonderful place for families. And
And now I know why your last name's familiar.
there's a lot of Graebers here.
Yes, but my mother had your husband recently.
No
help her
way.
out. Yes.
Oh, I hope he did a good job.
Yeah. Oh, she loved him.
Okay, I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Because if he doesn't, you let me know.
And she's not satisfied that often, so.
That makes me so happy. I will tell him that.
Indeed, no
Oh,
doubt
that's
about
great.
it. So when you are not, here we are, the final questions. Hard to imagine. 23 minutes just like that.
Well, and I talk so much. I
Oh,
try
that's okay.
to keep it
Like I said,
efficient.
it's a podcast. Yeah. It may be called the Dave Holly Hour, but I think last week was the first time I'd done exactly 1 hour in the past 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because normally it goes over.
Yeah.
But when you were not part of the entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
Oh, good question. I love live music. My husband, he plays in a band as well. And so I'm a big fan of his band here called Dad Bod Supreme.
Oh, my.
Yeah. They're amazing.
Do they have the pleated elastic jeans, too?
No, they should.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Okay.
a great uniform piece.
I'm going to suggest that. I love going to live music. I love going to local theater. I've been so impressed by the theater community here in Sioux Falls. It's such a generous
Right.
community. I love that the theaters, they know each other. People go back and forth between different companies. And there's an enthusiasm here that is so refreshing and full of wonderful, talented people, too. So right now I've been soaking in a lot of Sioux Falls theater.
All right. Any other hobbies?
Let's see. I am a mother of 3 boys.
That's a
So,
profession. That's
Yeah, I'm going to say my hobby would be driving them everywhere and supporting all of their endeavors. I am a full-time fan of my kids.
good for you.
I also enjoy reading. I read a lot of books. I'm in a book club and karaoke with friends. So
Bullseye.
did I hit a nerve?
Oh,
Good.
yes. We'll talk.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good.
Jessica Graeber, thank you so much.
Thank
it's
you,
been a joy
Dave
to have you
Holly.
on the program, and I'm sure you will be on again in the future.
I hope
And
so.
I look forward to that. In the meantime, happy holidays.
You too. And just a quick plug, since we were talking about Improv Falls, their next show is in January 27th
Okay.
at the Icon. We'd love to see everyone out there. You can get
Definitely.
ticket information on Facebook and Instagram and all of those things.
Excellent.
Thank you, Dave.
Look
Happy
forward-
holidays to
and
you too.
All right. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails. Call for an appointment. 605-334-1463.
Comedy magician and hypnotist Jesse Moffat's right. He can't play the piano, but he can sure entertain crowds with his amazing magic and clever quips. His shows always make the participants the stars, especially when they've fallen asleep on stage. They've been hypnotized. Are you the party planner in your group? Then you owe it to your group to make the event magical, even if it puts you to sleep. Here's how.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffitt Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
Time for more arts and entertainment talk on the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everyone. It is always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment. You're so used to me saying that now that you're probably going, Dave, you really have to say it. Well, yeah, I do, because it's true. And it's always great to have, new guests, but it's always a fun time when we have repeat. Reuben Rodriguez, does this make 4th?
Is this 4?
It's 3 for sure.
3 for sure.
3 for sure.
Yeah.
Which would be appropriate because you are the triple R.
I am triple R.
Yep. Reuben R. Rodriguez.
You got me.
Yeah. And I'm glad because, we're recording this at the Dipsy Doodle studio, which means that you came over to the house, and every time you do, you bring tacos.
I do.
Yes.
Well, I think food has become part of our ritual.
It
now.
has.
This is our thing.
No doubt about it. We
Yeah.
have to have that. It's sustenance. It's sustenance. Not just talking about entertainment and so forth. But I'm glad you did take in some sustenance, so because you have a busy month laid out. Okay, this comes out on Thursday morning, the 15th, and you're going to be busy that night.
Yes.
As will I.
Yep.
We will be at the same place. We'll be at the Washington Pavilion, and you will be part of Chuck Case and the Late Night Boomers.
That is correct.
Yes, you'll be playing the bass along there.
Yep.
But even being halfway over, how many gigs do you have lined up the rest of the month?
That is a good question because they are still coming. It's gotten to the point where now someone's like, "Are you available this day?" And I'm like, "What time?"
Yeah,
because I've got gigs. I've got.
You are just on a roll, is what you are.
16.
16 yet?
Yeah. Well, with church.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
But,
yeah,
you know,
but still, that counts.
Yeah.
You're playing.
Yep, still playing.
Yeah. Was there something that has happened in the past that you've had this many gigs in December?
Or
Or is this a new record?
It's hit and miss. Well, COVID, I think, kind of knocked everybody down a peg.
Yeah. Even Santa Claus.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this and this wasn't by design either. I haven't solicited or like gone out and actively tried to get gigs. Just slowly since early October. So I was like, hey, are you available this day? Are you available this day? And as everything lined up, it was actually just such luck that things weren't in conflict with each other. So the month just filled up, and my incapacity to say no just found me a full schedule and just a lot of good times. It's been great so far this month. Yeah.
Incapacity to say no has meant filled to capacity on dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are.
That's
we
good,
are full
though.
up.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with a little extra ching for the Christmas stocking. Is there?
Yeah. That's nice too.
Yeah. So where else are you going to be playing, and with whom and so forth too?
All right, so we got late night booming on Thursday, as
Thursday
we know,
night,
Mr.
yeah.
Potter. On Friday, we're actually backing up Taylor Wineland at Dada Gastropub for a showcase of just a bunch of really cool artists. We've got like Arlinda Peacock and some other cool cats in that arena. Gabe Houston and I think Billy Bright and myself are playing at Ken's Corner on Saturday. On Sunday, that's going to be the church thing. Oh my goodness. Joel Shotwell Quartet at our wine bar.
That's right, on the 22nd.
Yep. We got Studio B at the old courthouse.
That's right. I still need to get my my 22nd reserved.
You should.
Yeah.
It's always such a good time.
I know it.
Like with Alex and Joel. That band is just fun because it's funky and it's kind of out, but it's still, we still touch on some regular jazz stuff, and that's real cool. And it's all going to be Christmas themed stuff on that Friday the 23rd. We're doing Studio B Jazz. So myself, Bob Grip, and Alex Olson at the courthouse, and then later that evening we're actually playing at Swamp Daddy's. 24th, back at church. Let's see. Then Christmas, and we got then we get some other stuff. Playing at the Canton Barn on the 30th. Playing we're doing a New Year's show with the Heinous Three at our wine bar on New Year's.
Wow.
So that'll be a good time.
No doubt.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have.
How did the Heinous Three come about? I love this name. Because I was explaining to somebody today that you're going to be on the show this week, and I said, because one person didn't know you that was at the table, and I said, he's a bass player. He plays in a lot of different trios. He eventually got around to having his own trio as one of like 4 trios, maybe more.
Yeah.
I said, and then he's playing every Tuesday night in this thing called the Heinous Three.
Yeah. So someone offered me a gig, asked me if I had a band. I didn't have a band. I was having trouble finding a guitar player that I wanted to work with, but I play guitar, passably. I'm like a serviceable guitar player. But there's a bass player named Fayette that plays for Tough Roots, and then my buddy Shane Campbell, who I've known since high school. So they're already an established rhythm section, and I'm like, we can still play the stuff that I want to play with these guys. So we started playing, and as time progressed, we're always chatting back and forth on Facebook. And Shane sent this video of just an old school. I forget what the song was exactly, but he's like, you have to check out this drummer. Whatever he's doing on the ride cymbal is heinous. I laughed for 5 whole minutes because I'd only seen that word in court documents. So I was like, that's it, dude. We're the heinous 3. And so we just we stuck with it. So that was the billing at Dada. And then Victor Faini, who we also play with.
Love Victor.
He is just a good soul and a fantastic friend. But yeah, he asked if if he could play. I was like, yes, anybody can play. Just come on down and hang out with us. And he's just become like a staple. So now now we got ourselves a keyboard player. But I won't let him in the band because that wouldn't be 3.
Exactly. Heinous 3. What's the tagline? Give us a trial. I mean, give us a try.
The court finds in the favor of.
Man, you got so many things you can play off with that.
You really
don't
can.
You?
Yeah.
That's excellent. Now, one of the things that I saw you recently, very briefly, was on this past Friday night. We were going to Improv down at the Icon.
Dada Icon, yes.
And so we had to go through Dada to get there. And I already knew you were going to be playing. In fact, I knew it a week in advance.
I feel like you just have a third sense about me.
Well, no. That was back on the week before.
Yep.
Reuben's playing tonight down at the Icon. Let's go there. And as we're sitting there having a beer over at another place, we look online and go, oh, that's next Friday. So then we did get to breeze past you on the way.
Yeah.
And that was and perhaps this is going to be more of what people are going to be hearing too. Basically a salute to Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yes. Yeah.
We a lot of Vince Guaraldi.
Yes. A bunch of Vince Guaraldi. This happened, I think it started a few years ago. But Bob, myself, and Alex Olson, who I work with, and we've once again known each other since high school. Phenomenal keyboard player, great guy. But we played over at, I think we did 2 nights at Parker's, which was funny because Parker's, it's a smaller establishment. So I basically just moved a table and then tried to get a drummer, a keyboard, and me back in that corner. But it was a great time. We had a bunch of fun. And then when Alex moved back into town, and this, it's like, hey, would you guys be willing to do it again and make it like a feature weekend? We did. So they actually had Charlie Brown Christmas playing above the bar on the projector, and we just played the music, played the album. Yeah, just played it down. So,
wonderful.
Real good time. And the funny part is that I think it aired on December, I think that was 9th, 1965. So it was actually the anniversary to the day.
Wow.
That we played on Friday.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Now, were you a fan of Vince Guaraldi because of Charlie Brown?
Yes. Well, when you're a kid, you don't know.
You don't know who he is.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for the composer. I was just like, oh, this is nice, and I like Charlie Brown. Yeah, good grief.
And so then you started to research and find out once you got into the musical part, forth, and said, yeah, we can make money at Christmas time too.
Yeah. I talked to Alex about that too, and it's funny because apparently when Linus and Lucy was written originally, Vince Guaraldi had written it for a Willie Mays documentary that was being made, and then that just kind of fizzled out. So when CBS was like, "Oh, hey, do you want to, like play this thing? Like, do you have something in mind?" He was like, "I just so happen to have the perfect thing." So Linus and Lucy was not originally Linus and Lucy.
Whoa.
A little behind the scenes there.
Love it.
Yeah.
What a great piece of trivia. I'll have to pass that along to anybody that hosts trivia.
There you go.
Coming to Chasers. So what about other Christmas music? Do you have particular songs that you just go, yeah, I love playing this one? And perhaps, maybe even your favorite isn't necessarily one that's a favorite you like to play.
Yeah, I as cheesy as it sounds, I just love Christmas music. I know a lot of people get sick of it because it starts the day after Thanksgiving, or sometimes just the first day of November.
In some households.
That's true, yeah. And I don't mind that. I think everybody should get out and just listen to more. There's so many Christmas albums. There's some
It's
Christmas albums.
amazing.
Yeah, if you just like search it, you can find some great stuff. I like Snowed In by Hanson, great one.
Mhm.
I am still partial to, because it came out when I was a kid, the NSYNC Christmas album. But I think my favorite so far is there's a guy named Brian Culbertson who has an album called Soulful Christmas.
Okay.
Check that out.
Really?
He hired just a bunch of monster players, apparently 2 different bands. He has like a funk gospel band, and then he has a jazz band, and they just kind of go back and forth throughout the whole album, and it's just a real fun twist
Okay.
on all your old standards. But to answer your question that you first asked, the Christmas song. The Christmas song is my favorite Christmas song.
Tough to go wrong with what the Velvet Fog wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so
On a napkin
no kidding.
in like 15 or 20 minutes, I think. Yeah.
That's
What a hit it became. And then I remember years ago when I worked up at KBRK in Brookings, I wanted to have a Christmas special. And so I put together an hours long thing. And I used the Nat King Cole version
Oh yeah.
of that.
I love Nat King Cole.
And it was fun because on the liner notes on that album, it talked about, well, here's a relatively new one. You know, maybe someday it'll become a traditional song. It's like, boy, did we think that one through well.
Called it.
I think you got her there, Nat.
Oh, that's spectacular.
Yeah. You know, what's your favorite line out of that song?
I think bundled up like Eskimos.
Okay.
Because I remember that as a kid when you go out and your mom's just like put one more layer on to the point of just immobility where you just
like the
can't
kid in the
move.
Christmas
Yeah.
Story. Yeah.
just kind of hobbling out and just that feeling, just everything covered but still that crisp breeze across your face. Yeah, it's good imagery.
I love the every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly.
That is true.
I think that is just such a cool line.
Childhood espionage, yeah.
Guess what I saw last night, Evie? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mom. Appreciate that. Where do you put the presents?
Yeah. See, Mom? All right, you're the lookout.
What about Christmas traditions at the Rodriguez house?
Christmas traditions at the Rodriguez house was they've changed over the years as people grow and move away. We used to get together different locations, either up in Brookings at my aunt's place or over at my mom's house, but it was always like all the families, and I have a really big family, so it was like chaos, and there's kids running around, and there's uncles just ribbing each other and having a good time. It was just it was kind of a chaotic experience, but it was just full of love, and that's just that feeling. I don't know, just to be around all those people was I kind of miss all that. But as you grow on, the kids grow up and have their own kids and start their own families, and now the sects have kind of parted ways, but you still give a call at everybody, and now we've gotten to the age of writing Christmas cards. You just keep in touch in different ways.
Or email,
Text,
yeah, whatever. Send a gift.
Yeah.
Send a gift, not a gift. That's what it's become.
I love those gifts.
And what about presents? Christmas Eve, Christmas morning.
Christmas morning.
Okay.
Christmas morning, people. We'd have the immediate family. We'd depends when everybody got up. Everybody's early risers, so probably 6:37. Little hot cocoa, and and it was. We were one of the one person opens a present at a time because there has to be pictures. So But my sister would always, this one for you, this one for you. Oh, who'd you get it from? Tell them thanks. Yeah. So it was very organized in that
What we used to
fashion.
call Kodak moments.
Oh,
Absolutely. We now refer to them as Apple moments.
Apple moment. Yeah, it's true.
Apple moments.
Yeah, to the cloud.
Yeah. I remember when the whole term cloud came out. And what they were doing to promote it was they were showing all these pictures being edited. And I thought, well, where do I find this program, this cloud thing, man? It looks like it's pretty easy to use for, editing pictures. No, Dave, the cloud is just this ethereal thing that's out there where you send stuff. And it goes, and then other people can call it back and so forth.
And it stays, and it lives forever.
See, our family was... the presence between everybody was Christmas Eve.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you woke up Christmas morning, unwrapped under the tree was the Santa Claus gift.
Oh.
And then you also had the stocking, to get the orange that was always at the bottom in the toe.
Yes. Yeah, we got it was oranges, apples, peanuts, obviously candy. Yeah,
right.
A lot of peanuts.
Oh, and that old ribbon candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Dave, were you at my house?
Reuben. Oh my, yeah. Fun stuff. What was your favorite Christmas gift?
I was in the one that just the presentation of it surprised me and just caught me. I think it was second grade, and I like came out of my room, and obviously there was the tree and all the presents, but somehow Santa had moved the couch, and there was 2 sleds behind the couch, one for my sister and one for me, and that was like, all right, we need to get rid of these paper things right now. We need to get outside immediately.
And what hill did you use?
So we lived right over by St. Mary's. So that parking lot, as you know, gets plowed, and it just becomes this massive snow hill.
Right.
And that snow hill goes all the way down, and then also stops at a fence, so you couldn't go out in the street. So that was also kind of a safety net in a sense. But so we used to hit that, but then go over to the VA. Used to bomb that hill quite frequently.
Oh yeah, Spellenberg.
Yep.
Oh man, that's a dandy, isn't it? In fact, when I was driving the other day, I saw him not only using the big part of it, but even just from 26 down into the gully part.
Oh yeah,
and just lots of kids out there, and it looked like a blast.
Oh, it always is.
You say that as though it still is.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
When was the last time you went sledding?
I think I went tubing a couple of years ago.
Oh, did you? Okay, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's adult sledding.
Yeah.
Well,
when I
can't ski, so it's the only time I'm going downhill.
I actually could, even when I weighed well over 300 pounds, sometimes 400.
Yeah,
and I always equated that to being my equalizer sport.
Nice,
because
got the
I could be that big of a I could be that large of a man and look that graceful on skis.
Absolutely.
But then life came along. We had a hip surgery, a knee surgery, and all of that stuff went goodbye.
That's all right.
But I still love watching it. I think it's pretty cool.
It is a graceful sport.
Yeah. And I wish that I could do it, but we won't tempt fate in that way.
No.
So when did you first get a musical item for a Christmas gift?
Ooh, I think that might have been my trumpet in 4th grade. Yeah. Because
so a year early?
Yeah, a year early. It starts in 5th grade. Yep. We at the time I was playing viola in orchestra, and my friend had started playing trumpet early too, and it just seemed like this, like, oh well, you guys are hanging out and palling around all the time anyway, so why not? So I got a trumpet, and it was a little Holton, like mid-level just brass trumpet, and it was great. I played that thing all the way through high school and dinged it and broke it and fixed it, and that thing was great.
Do you still play horn occasionally?
I don't. Yeah, it's mostly string instruments and percussion instruments now, which I wish I would have stuck with tuba, because I really enjoyed that like drum corps and my collegiate years. It was just a cool instrument, and now with all the kind of the horns that I play with, it'd be cool to do some like second line New Orleans stuff. But
that would be awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe that'll be an investment down the road.
Yeah. So what does Reuben the musician want now at this age for Christmas?
Oh, a piano. I think a piano. That's going to be the next investment. Because
I think the last time we talked, you were, pardon the pun, tinkling around with it.
I was a bit. Yeah. I was tinkling around with it. I bought a really cheap one off, just offline. I think it was like $60, and it lasted as long as $60 will get you with an instrument. But now that I'm starting to do a couple more arrangements and more transcriptions, piano's just nice because you can kind of work out what the upper voicings are and still have a bass line. And I think piano's probably the ultimate compositional instrument.
Very true, because you see the people writing the music at the piano.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, instead of a music stand that runs out, you can just keep those pages rolling, baby.
What do you hope happens in your music career yet? because you are so busy, and you just keep going. You're like the Energizer Bunny of band members in this community.
Thank you.
Yeah, but what's the goal?
First off, I can't express to you how lucky I am, and I understand that this is just a season in my, I guess, career or experience. There'll be a day when people stop calling me, but right now I'm definitely enjoying the ride. But in that time, part of the reason I'm playing all these shows and trying to get and more opportunities for just like gigging in general is to get more musicians out, just get more music in Sioux Falls, more culture, more shows, more genres, more. I mean, what was really cool was when we got approached for the show that we're doing on Friday with Taylor Weiland. She obviously sees us every week. She was like, hey, would you guys ever be willing to back me up? And we're like, yes, we would absolutely love to. We would love another singer in the mix. So yeah, I just kind of want to maybe inspire other musicians to get out there and play more.
Yeah,
man, we didn't have a scene when we were coming up.
I think even the first time that you and I talked, that was pretty prevalent. That was big in your agenda for music. That was to get people involved and to have basically jams.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what even our set on Tuesdays has become. We still play songs, but the first half an hour or so, it's almost like I don't know, like it's like musically having coffee, where we just sit down and someone starts playing something and then we all just kind of follow suit, and the corporation will change, go that direction, style will change, go that direction. And that's like the first 20 minutes is us being like, oh, hey, how you been this week? Oh, kind of angry. I can hear that.
When did you realize that was a great part of being a musician, when the improvisation would be able to come along and so forth? And was it just all of a sudden wow, listen to what we're doing?
It took so long to get away from the page, you know, when you're going from being a classically trained musician to being a jazz guy. At least for me, some people it's a lot more natural. Some people are, ear learners, or people that came up in church, or they're cool, just like, oh, that's what it sounds like, I'm going to follow. It took a while, but I guess you don't really know. It's one of those things where like when you're a kid and you're riding your bike and your parents would hold you, and then at some point they just let go, and you're like, oh, wait, I'm doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Peter, I was just trying to
figure
that
out hook reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, speaking of references like that into movies and stories.
Oh, hit me. Love a good movie.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet
Christmas Carol.
Excellent.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Kermit the Frog. Only one more day till Christmas.
Kermit. Yeah.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yeah. I hope. And our very special guest, Miss Peggy.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. That's fantastic. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
White Christmas is way up there.
White Christmas is fantastic.
Yes.
They don't have talent around like that anymore.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, sing, dance, act.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of it. And, we were just going through some fun facts about it in terms of, Rosemary Clooney played the older sister.
Yep.
And Vera Ellen was about 8 years older than her.
Really?
Bing was almost twice Rosemary Clooney's age.
Seriously?
Yeah. So fun stuff. And we've been very fortunate. We've seen it, not on Broadway, but we've seen, big Broadway touring groups and so forth perform it a few times.
That's got to be fantastic.
And just love it. They always make it snow in the theater too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always just cool. But just to see the timing, the pacing, and everything that goes along with it's just amazing. But of recent ilk, I'm really digging Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, I'm not familiar. Oh, sacrilege.
Netflix. Do you have Netflix?
I got Netflix.
Okay, you can see them both.
Okay.
First one is just outstanding, and you're going to love it, especially the jail scene.
Okay. I love Santa and jail scenes. I've seen the Santa Claus. I know that's a thing.
And what I love about it is it's not techno-modern. It's just a completely different look. Instead of the pure white fur and white gloves, it's modernized, and Kurt Russell looks just hot in it. It's just very cool.
Kurt Russell's facial hair is more handsome than most men.
That's true.
That guy since Tombstone has been killing it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, and so I highly, highly recommend those. You will enjoy it. Second one's still very, very good, but the first one especially is top notch.
Now I have something to look forward to.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
Once your gigs are all done for the year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So will you actually take Christmas Day off then?
Nope. No. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll probably play. I'll probably still go down to the studio and play. That's half the joy. Isn't that why we do it?
True. You know, then you're just doing it because it's like, hey, I can sit back. Do you like doing that for someone then? Or do you a lot of times just go, Reuben, let's just go down to the studio. We don't care if anybody else is around. Just enjoy it.
Just play. I play all the time. I have a guitar in my living room, guitar in my kitchen. So whenever I'm just walking around my house, I'm just playing acoustic. And it's a great time. But there's something about just going out of the studio and, sometimes somebody walks in. Most of the time it's kind of secluded. But yeah, to just sing and just play for yourself, it still has. It's very cathartic. There's a lot of passion in it, and and it's every day is a new surprise when you keep playing.
All right, the familiar 2 questions to end.
Ooh.
Sometimes question number 2 doesn't get asked because it gets answered in question number 1. But when you are not part of the arts and entertainment scene, what do you enjoy either viewing or what do you like to be entertained by?
I've been reading a lot of books. I've been reading a lot of books recently, which is cool. My work started a book club a couple months ago, and we read one book, and then a couple of us kind of stayed in contact and started trading books. I've been on a real book kick, and I've been kicking it with friends and just going out. When I was on vacation this summer, I had this just epiphany of how simple it is to just enjoy a city. And why do I wait to take myself to breakfast till I go on vacation? Why don't I just do that on a Friday morning before work? Or why don't I just go play bags with a stranger? And so I've just been trying to explore Sioux Falls and do more stuff. Just get out, be a person, be a human.
Any other hobbies? Oh, I know a big one.
Oh, yeah, I've been cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, we've been cooking. Yeah. My buddy and I cooked for a work party on Friday, and that guy, shout out to Will Johnson, made way too much of just gravy, and so he was like, I don't know what to do with a vat of gravy, to which my response was like, I will find something to do with that gravy, buddy. So the next morning I went up and I just meal prepped a bunch of stuff and just dropped them off to friends, dropped them off for my neighbors, my family, and just made a bunch of meals and handed them out.
All right.
Yeah.
Reuben R. Rodriguez, it is always such a pleasure to have you here
Dave,
on this show, man.
Holly, I love you, buddy.
You guys.
Dude, I love you, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, this has been a pleasure.
This is always a great time, no doubt about it. And I'm sure we will run into each other prior, but if not, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
And we'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Helping women feel empowered and confident is what Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th does, while supplying high-quality clothing that fits your lifestyle, personality, and price point. Whether you want comfy and cozy, casual attire, or something for a special occasion, Posh provides quality, selection, and value. They carry sizes extra small to 3X and have something appropriate for any age. Feel empowered and get confident. Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xochiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
From the Dipsy Doodle Studios at the world headquarters of Big D Entertainment, a 40-square-foot home studio in the middle of America, it's Dave Holly.
Thanks again to my great guests, Jessica Graeber and Reuben Rodriguez. Thank you to the wonderful people at The Source, where we held our conversation with Jessica. Reuben's conversation was recorded right here in the Dipsy Doodle Production Studios, again, because he brings food. And, of course, thank you for listening, downloading, sharing, following on social media, and your overall support of this show. If you haven't so far, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, which automatically gets you entered for Pizza with a Podcaster. For all 160 episodes, go online at davehollyhour.com. Again, we're taking the next 2 weeks off from doing this show, but still plenty of shows we'll be taking in for the holidays. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by Posh Boutique, The Sky in Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and Sonny's Pizzeria. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, simply buy Dave a cup of coffee. Go to davehollyhour.com and look for a coffee cup icon in the lower left. Don't forget to stay up to date on the show on Twitter and Instagram. Follow the Dave Holly Hour on Facebook, and you'll be automatically entered in our Pizza with a Podcaster contest. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.